when I lived in an apartment that had 6 elders, and we were moving our apartment. We were shifting apartments. And so I remember we spent all day, one day, just loading up all our furniture and everything into this truck, and then riding in the truck over to our new apartment and unloading it. And it took all day. And I mean, for us, while we were there, most of the apartments don't have the cleanest drinking water, so we'd have a nice purifying system that would take the tap water and run it through all kinds of stuff. And so while we were moving, we had unhooked our water purifier, and when we got to the new apartment, we hadn't hooked it up yet. And so we'd spent all day moving all this furniture. It was in the summer, so it was over 100 degrees outside. I just remember we got to the point where we were just tired, and we were done for the day, ready to just take a break. And I remember we all went up to our new apartment, and we didn't have the water filter hooked in yet. And so we just thought, oh, once won't hurt. It'll be fine. And so I remember all 6 of us just drank straight out of the tap. And I think it was that same day that 4 of the 6 of us were all just sick. I don't even think it took the next day. I think by the end of that day we were sick. Yeah, that ended up lasting like a week. So that was one experience with moving and with drinking tap water there. The other one I remember, we were helping a member move, and she hadn't been to church in probably 7 years. And the only reason we'd found her is because she was trying to find someone to help her move, and the elders, of course, are always willing and ready. And so she'd gotten a hold of us, and we went out to her house, and we'd loaded up all her belongings into this truck, and we'd jumped in the back of the truck as we drove over to her new apartment. And just after helping her move everything out and move everything in, I remember she was just so thankful for everything we did. And she kind of started to open up to us a little bit and tell us about kind of what had been going on in her life, why she had to move. And she told us some of the experience she's had. Her husband had disappeared like a year earlier. She had no idea what had happened to him. She had 3 children. She had 2 sons and a daughter. And one of her sons had some pretty severe mental issues. I don't know exactly what he had, but he lived at home, and he had one of the girls next door, one of the neighbor girls, would come over and help take care of him. His name was Sunny. And then her daughter had just recently eloped, had ran off and gotten married, and she was having a lot of issues also with her new marriage. Her other son had gotten into a lot of trouble with drugs and other things, and so she just had a lot of challenging things that were all kind of coming to a head all at the same time. And she kind of just opened up to us and talked to us a lot about it, about everything that happened. And I just remember the opportunity we had to have a lesson with her there, and just you could feel the difference in her as we started talking and teaching and prayed with her, and just that opportunity we had to share a message about Jesus Christ and how everything was going to be okay. And I just remember just the feeling we had being in her home before and after as we'd moved her in, and kind of just the feeling that she told us that it felt like she had a home now, and lots of good stuff. She ended up coming back to church and really diving right in. Her and her son Sonny would come every week, and there wasn't a happier person on earth than Sonny, that's for sure. But that's another good memory I have.